Hello, Internet Dwellers, and welcome back to Franchise Schmanchise. I am Jeff Bell here again, as always, for this franchise, I suppose, with my co-host, TC. Yay, TC DeWitt.
That's right. I'm back. You can't get rid of me. I'm like a bad penny. I'm always here. Wrong place, wrong time. Something, something. John McClane quote.
Very nice. And we are watching the 1995 movie Die Hard with a Vengeance, seeing the return of Die Hard director John McTiernan and starring, of course, Bruce Willis back as a more non-superhuman powered John McClane. And by the end of this episode, we will answer the utmost important question. The reason we are here every other week talking and watching movies: does this film deserve a sequel? So, as Simon says, if a brother of a robber avenges his own death by sending you on a mouse hunt, where would the body of the brother's killer be buried? You have 30 seconds to comply.
I don't remember that from the movie. Oh.
So I'm not going to lie. For that opening, I attempted to find a way to tie the movie into it, and then I just got ridiculous. I just decided to go a completely different direction.
I'll allow it. That was very good. That was very Simon Says-y of you.
It is. It does kind of. It is not real. Kind of. I don't know. It's the whole like if a plane crashes, there are 12 survive. There are 12. Or there's like a plane of 250 people on a plane that crashes, where the survivors buried. Like that whole. Like that's where I was trying to go with.
But everybody died. There were no survivors.
So,
I swear, every time they do the elephant fountain bit, I pause the movie and I try to see if I can solve it again. And every time I'm like, all right, and then I'm like all proud of myself when I figure it out. Like, oh yeah, that's how you do it. I'd figure that out.
The first time I saw this movie, I remember doing. I'm right there with you. I do it every single time I watch it because I'm always like, how. Wait, but how? Okay, where do they get the 2 gallons? They put the 4. I'm always right there with you. I just remember the first time watching that, I was.
Well, if we're ever in the desperate situation, okay, I got it.
Good. So the next time that I drop a guy out a window and his brother comes back and it pulls us together. Apparently, I'm John McClane between the two of us. I don't know why.
Yeah,
it's because I'm balding. That's why. It's the sole reason.
In my younger years, I like to think I felt myself as the main character in my own story, but I realize I make a better sidekick. I really
you would get to be.
But hey, we're off point here.
Yes, we are. So we are back. We are back again, and yes, this time we've reached part 3 of the Die Hard franchise. So far, we have seen the first film in the series, which we both really, really liked. We got around to the second film, which tried to be the first film, maybe a little bit too hard, and in my opinion, failed a little bit. I don't want to speak for you, obviously, TC.
Yeah, and I think we came to that agreement last time that the film tried a little too hard to do the exact same thing, and that's why it fell short as a sequel. This movie, this third one, Die Hard with a Vengeance, for the longest time, I always would say the best action movie ever is Die Hard. The best buddy action movie is Die Hard 3. Now, you can disagree with me because I know you're a Lethal Weapon fan, and there's certainly other buddy action movies out there, but man, this movie is just so tight. Oh my God. And I said it with Die Hard 2. I wondered what John McTiernan would have done had he still been responsible for the sequel, and this right here, he came back with a vengeance.
I saw what you did there. I would agree.
I did. I quoted the title of the movie.
Yes. My mouth tried to say too many things at once. No, but I will agree. I'll totally agree with that, because this is so all of my notes for this movie are basically just like happiness of just how much I'm enjoying this, and how, yes, that was correct. Like, this is how it should have been. This is what I think I used the word like great and perfect like 7 times in all of my notes, 7 to 8 times in my notes, just because like I love, like, okay, so right off the bat, I love that There's an explosion. I love that this movie literally does not start off with John McClane walking up going, hey, here's all the exposition you need to know. What's going on? Like, it's at like Die Hard 2.
No, it starts right away. It's boom, and the plot kicks off right away. And you want to talk about expert exposition delivery. Getting in the van, like first you have the setup of the villain right away saying, I'm Simon, I'm going to blow up the city, get me John McClane, and then boom, you get into that van, heading off to Harlem, and it's expertly handled exposition. How's the wife? How you doing? You look like shit. Oh my God.
It doesn't feel like exposition. It's delivered in a way where you're listening to it and you're just getting the bits and pieces. You're getting you're getting like, oh, you hear a little bit about Holly, okay, but you don't know everything about what's going on with Holly, but you kind of get that feeling that things aren't perfect with it, and they're, obviously he's got a hangover and he's back in New York now. Okay, well that's the big key, but you piece that together. It's not like, yeah, Holly and I had a fight and I moved back out here 2 years ago because of that. Like, you don't get that.
blah 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 blah. No, but I'll just keep praising the movie. I'm just going to keep going. The fact that it starts fast, the fact that exposition is handled so well, the ensemble of this cast is great, and it's so different than the ensemble of the first one, because we praised the ensemble of the first one, that every single character in the movie is an interesting character, is a real character, as opposed to the thugs of Die Hard 2. This one returns to that form of every character on the screen is interesting. There's something about all the characters, about Inspector Cobb, about the blonde, about, you're going to be wearing that champion, Charlie.
Well, what the beauty is speaking of the ensemble, they're done so well, and they all have their own characteristics to it that you almost feel like you know who these people are without really knowing. Like, it almost feels like this is legitimately the third entry in a franchise with all of those characters. Not just John McClane. Like, I feel like, oh yeah, no, this is just part 3. It is, you brought up Lethal Weapon, and yeah, I do know those franchise really well. Like, that movie, that franchise did that, where you got introduced to a lot of the characters, and they are recurring characters throughout the entire film series, so you see them again and again and again. So by the time the third or the fourth film comes around, it's like, yeah, I know who those people are, and they don't spend time, introducing those characters or going, oh, that's this character, because you know who they are. And I feel like that's exactly what they did with this. They set up this film in a way where it's just like, no, you know who these people are. You don't know who these people are. It doesn't matter. You'll enjoy yourself still. You'll get enough information to just watch and enjoy it.
It felt like everyone had history. Everyone had history with each other, and they helped build the mythology of John McClane. And by being such interesting people, we care about them. I care when Charlie's trying to deactivate the bomb in Chester A. Arthur Elementary, and I love that Inspector Cobb isn't the angry Beverly Hills Cop style, hand in your bags, McClane.
Yep. He almost feels like maybe he was at one point, but maybe over the years he's kind of calmed down a little bit, or maybe he never has been. I don't know. It's so hard to know. But I would just like one of my notes, and I kept saying this to myself over and over and over again as I was watching this movie, was just, this is what I want to see. This is what I want to see in a Die Hard film, which is John in his natural environment, because I feel like he's at home in New York. I feel like he knows what he's doing. He knows these streets well enough. He's not in a skyscraper in LA. He's not just running around in New York, and he's doing what he does best, and that's just to be a cop, or just to try to save lives. And a good cop. He does abuse his police privileges. Like when he calls for the ambulance.
He does. True. Yes. Because he does, and he does not hide the fact. He says it. Yep. I'm an asshole. I know. Your brother was an asshole too, but I'm an asshole. But he is a good cop when he's not being a jackass. he's proving that he's a good cop. He knows how to work the system. He knows how to do good police work. Like when they're naming off his past crooks that could potentially be Simon, and they say, oh, was it this Simon guy? He rattles off all the charges and what that guy was sentenced to from memory. That's if he was a bad rogue asshole cop, he wouldn't have remembered that. And the other cops wouldn't respect him the way that they do, or joke with him the way they do, unless they A, had history, and B, respected the guy. They feel bad for him. They ask about his wife. They make sure he's okay, and he cares about all of them. He remembers his friend's badge number.
Oh man, and that bit. Okay, I know this movie. I know everything that happens in this movie, but I had forgotten a very small beat in it, and it relates to that. I loved that in the beginning of the movie, during that very casual exposition sequence inside the van, that, you know, so they introduced the badge number, they introduced the friend, very not like in a way of, you're gonna need to remember this later, just very matter-of-factly. And then later in the movie, when John's in the elevator and he looks over and he sees the badge on the bad guy, the thing that I realized, and that I was actually blown away by this, was that I'm like, oh, there's no echoey voiceover or smash cut flashback.
I played my badge
exactly
number.
And I'm like, and it's only on camera for maybe like 2 seconds, and then it cuts back to John, and then he starts having the conversation, and then he kills the guys. It was done, it was written, and it was filmed in a way where it went, hey, the audience will remember what happened a half hour ago. They heard it. Good enough. Doesn't matter. We don't need to bash them over the head with this piece of information just to sell the point. It's like that I geeked out, because I'm like, oh, holy crap, this movie's 21 years old now, but that's how they would have done it nowadays. They would have had a flashback, or you would have heard his echoey voice saying it.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And I'm like, they didn't do that.
And you know what? It's been I haven't really analyzed this movie. I did it for this episode. I've seen this movie many times, but I've never actually like sat back and really focused and paid attention. And not just that badge, there are setups and payoffs through this whole damn movie. The fact that John needs aspirin right off the gate, the fact that they established that Simon has headaches, gets him the Tylenol that leads him to the climax, the missing dump trucks, that pays off later too. And as a good cop, he thought he knew what it was. Oh, insurance fraud. No, 14 dump trucks. What else? There was I wrote down a bunch. Oh, when Zeus gives the bomb from the elephant to the two guys, they then give that to Hans, and he uses that bomb to blow up the dam.
It's so everything in the film is introduced and paid off in a very I'm spacing on the terminology, but a very well done way.
It's very it's intelligent, and it does not pander. It doesn't have the echoey voice. It doesn't have the momentary flashback. Like, man, I could keep praising the movie there. But speaking of a momentary flashback, the mere mention of the name Gruber and getting that glimpse of Alan Rickman, but the look on Bruce Willis's face in that brief second is some top-notch acting. He fears that name. He has a element of post-traumatic stress just from that name. Like, dude, does this name ring a bell? Yeah, I recognize that name. And you can see it.
I like that his flashback image of Hans is the moment that that Hans is falling to his death.
But that's not just a random moment that they picked, because what does John tell Zeus? You know that guy we were chasing? I threw his little brother off a building. What's the only time you saw the little brother? Being dropped off a building. So you don't even have to have seen the first movie to get all the information you need.
So they actually set this film up to be a it really is. This is honestly, it's a standalone film. Except for the fact that it's Simon is Hans's brother. But like you just said, they set that up in a way where fans of the series obviously are going to go, oh yeah, holy crap, it's Hans's brother. But people who are just coming into the theater the first time, having never seen the other Die Hard films, are gonna understand enough to go, oh, it's kind of a revenge film. And in a way, but not needing to, like, it's not like, well, we're digging into things said in the first film in order to get our story in this one. It's just literally like, no, yeah, it's his brother. That's enough. That's all you need to know. Moving on.
I used the Indiana Jones franchise as an example of Temple of Doom to Die Hard 2 last time, and I'm going to once again go to Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade as an example of what succeeded there and what succeeds here in Die Hard with a Vengeance, because returning to a holy item, returning to some familiar characters with Sala and Martin, or Marcus, I'm sorry, and again with this, it's returning to the formula without repeating the formula. And actually, I'll ask you, do you feel that this follows the Die Hard formula?
I feel like this is the logical direction that it needs to go to. It does, in some sense, follow the Die Hard formula with some deviations. We still have the... I don't want to say like a public works, but we have like an everyman who does help John out in a situation where he is stuck and needs to advance the plot a little bit, which is the truck driver, which is Jerry not Jerry. Was it? Yeah, whatever. The truck driver who was helping him out in the aqueducts. And like, so that's basically our limo driver, and that's our guy, that's our janitor from 2. So like, okay, so it does hit that beat, but it does deviate a little bit. Stuff like Simon, they get what they want in like the first third of the film. Like
yes, that's great that the heist reveal is an hour in. It at the hour mark, all the information is laid out. It doesn't wait to be a twist at the very end. No, the information is, it's just a heist. And then the second twist is that, he's double crossing the other guy.
Exactly. Like it's like they spend the rest of the movie just getting away, like trying to get away from it. Like unlike his brother, who spent the entire film trying to get his stuff and not succeeding. They basically succeeded. To a degree, they got away.
Yeah. But the relentlessness of John McClane, and you know what? I love that this movie does return to formula in that it's an asshole, nice guy, everyman, wrong place, wrong time, but do the right thing, and the smarminess is gone. Because in 2, I complained that John was a dickhead. He was less lovable and more of this like cocksure, like, I know I'm good, and I'm gonna credit John McTiernan for that. Because he was able to create that likable dick in John McClane and draw that out of him. But it's the script too, because John cares. He cares about the people. He cares about like what he's doing is to save as many people as possible. Yeah,
because every time that like so when they get to the payphone and they think there's a bomb inside the basket and they're calling it, they're trying to pull everybody aside to get them out of the way. When in reality, even if a bomb had gone off, it probably would have still injured dozens of people. Or like in the subway car when he's actually carrying the bomb in the back and he's telling everybody to please move to the front of the get the hell out of here, but doing it in still this in that police mentality of he's holding a freaking like suitcase size bomb in his hands and he's like, well, everybody please just move
just
to
back
the
up,
back
back up.
Like just
move to the back. Just get out of my way.
But he's still, like you said, he has everybody else's best interest in mind. He is still trying to save everyone else. And that is exactly.
He's a hero.
If he was a total smarmy dick, he wouldn't have cared because he would have been just trying to save himself at that point. But he's not. He is trying to save everybody else, and putting himself out there just to save other people. Because again, he's willing to wear a sign like a sandwich board in Harlem just because he knows if he doesn't, then they're gonna blow up some other. Simon says he's gonna blow up some other building. Like the fact that he is willing to do that and not just say, hey, fuck that, I don't care, we'll find him. I'll blow up. Like he actually cares. He cares about what's going on, and that's what I like. And it's so this movie is so much better. So much better.
Well, let's talk about Sam Jackson now. We haven't touched on Sam Jackson. I want to make a point right off the bat that the racial climate of this movie, the racial tension that exists in this movie, it's a bit overt in some places, but it's also nicely handled and still freaking poignant to this day. It's Zeus's line of, "I stopped a cop from being killed in Harlem, because if a white cop is killed today, there's 1,000 white cops out there looking at the black man." You know, I'm totally ruining that line, but he's absolutely right, and that is sad as hell.
It's very sad that 21 years after this movie, that part is still very poignant and still is very true, and that, I don't know, it's unfortunate, but that might be why this movie is fairly timeless, because that still looks like New York to me. Like everything that happened in this movie.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
looks like that's New York.
Here's three things in the movie that make it. So it's four. So the racial thing, right? The black guy killing the white cop. That's a bad thing. There's a Donald Trump reference. There's a Hillary Clinton reference, and there's a World Trade Center reference.
It's so.
And it's not the World Trade Center of 9/11. It's the five or 6 years prior to that, when the bomb went off in the basement of the World Trade Center. It's chill. It's this momentary chill of like, oh, geez.
My dad,
you remember that World Trade Center?
Yeah, I see. And that's the thing is, my dad hadn't seen this movie until like 2002 or 2003, so it had been post 9/11. Well, when he heard that line, he had forgotten about the parking garage, or that 9/11, or sorry, not that World Trade Center incident.
Yeah.
So when he heard that, he went, "Did they add that line for this movie post 9/11?" And I went, "No, that's for the other incident." And then like we looked it up and we researched it just so he could remember it. But it's like that was the thing. It's like, holy crap, that still works. Like it makes you think, and like that sequence after that bomb goes off, like there's images in that's very reminiscent of stuff that happened on 9/11 too, which is so weird. It's just it doesn't, this movie doesn't age. I never realized that till now.
But then there's the New York attitude of when the bomb goes off in the Wall Street area and the people are up in the skyrise like eating chips and drinking coffee, like, how many engines do you see? Or when they're around the telephone and they're like, there's a bomb in the garbage can, and all the people are like, welcome to New York.
Yeah, which I feel like that attitude changed post 9/11, and it's not that anymore because it was a bigger case. But still, I digress.
But this movie certainly doesn't have. Let's not dwell on the shockingly chilling narrative of that element. Let's go back to talking about Sam Jackson, because these Bruce Willis and Sam Jackson have an awesome charisma together. Like they have great chemistry together. And I think this is one of the most likable characters Sam Jackson's
very
ever
true,
played.
and I will agree. And it's so weird because it's like I started trying to think, and this comes down to my answer later on for whether or not I feel like this movie deserves a sequel. Because I started thinking about it, and I'm like, well, really, the characters. You have John McClane, who really would probably just rather be alone. He doesn't want.
You're ruining a perfectly good hangover.
And then you get Zeus, who feels very independent. Feels like he's happy doing his own thing. He'll help a person out, but at the same time, whatever. Just again, he doesn't want to be a part of any of this crap that's going on, but he gets pulled into it. So you have these two guys who really don't want to be with one another. And are forced to be with one another, and ultimately,
but they do the right thing.
They both have the mentality of, okay, that's fine. I don't like you. You don't like me. We don't. As soon as this is done with, screw it. We're separating, but we need to do this stuff together because there are other lives that are at stake. They both kind of have that same mentality of looking out for everybody else, and just to, even though they may not seem like that's what they're trying to do. And I agree. Sam Jackson did a great job.
I never got the feeling that John didn't like Zeus. I never got that feeling. I felt like as soon as John knew what needed to be done, he was going to get it done to save as many people as he could, no matter what. And even if that meant lying to Zeus to keep him on the hook, over the course of the movie, you see them develop. I think you see Zeus develop a little more of a respect for what John's trying to do, and John winning him over in finding a friend, because their situation at the beginning is very confrontational, and he's trying to like, hey Zeus, why you keep calling me Jesus? Well, goddamn Puerto Rican to you.
He didn't say hey Zeus. He said hey Zeus. Zeus is my name.
It's the police station later when they're on the phone with Simon, and John's on the phone, kind of being a smartass, and then Zeus comes over and is like, "You can take your well-laid plan, stick up your well-laid ass," and John smiles at him.
He out John McClane, because that would have been an answer that John would have had.
Yeah, and I feel like that John and him are very similar in that respect, and that's why they made such a good team. And every time Sam Jackson, Zeus's character, wanted to use the damn the white man attitude on John would be like, no, that's not it at all. I was gonna call you an asshole because you're an asshole.
So they both kind of have I feel like maybe at the start they both, so not liking each other is maybe not the correct term, but the mentality of they don't want to be, they're reluctant to even give in for the other one. But once, like those little things, like the fact that John is just honest with Zeus, and Zeus speaks his mind like he does on the phone there, exactly like John does, they grow that relationship into this reluctant buddy cop, which is exactly what you need for a buddy cop or a buddy film in general. It ultimately is, that's what Lethal Weapon was. You had two different cops from two different styles, from two different ages, who are now thrown together and have to be, let alone two different races, but now they have to work together in order to solve a case, and they do things completely different, and they don't like it, but in the end they learn to respect each other. So that's exactly the same thing that happens here, and that goes back into, and I think I brought this up at one point, but the screenwriter of this film, so the original script was called Simon Says. If I'm yes. racking my memory correctly, it was called Simon Says, and that was the script that got pitched to Hollywood, and that's what got bought. And then that got adapted, and at one point was supposed to be the fourth Lethal Weapon film. I think I originally said the third one, but I think it was supposed to be the fourth one. Because at 95. Lethal Weapon 3 came out in 93. So yeah, it was supposed to be the fourth Lethal Weapon, which if you look at it from there, you can see, yes, this could have been a Lethal Weapon film. Little change in the beginning.
With more more tweaks to make it Murtaugh and Riggs as opposed to two people thrown together. Just make them part.
But the mentality of the bad guy is now like, the bad guy's honing in on Murtaugh and Riggs to have to go be doing all these ridiculous things, these puzzles all across, which would have been LA at that point, but all across the city, while they're actually off probably doing a bank robbery or something along those lines. Like, yeah, that works totally, but it already had that element of a buddy picture written into it, so I see why they adapted it into a Die Hard film once it got passed.
Die Hard,
just because it had a lot of the same. And I know the screenwriter said that most of the script was except for some character tweaks just to cement it in the Die Hard franchise. But besides that, most of like the first 2/3 of the film was pretty much almost word for word his original script, and then.
His original
exactly, and then once the whole I don't remember where in the point of the film. Like I think once they start heading towards the aqueducts, that's when things start changing. So then it became more of a Die Hard film, just because of the original ending went a completely different direction that wouldn't have worked for the Die Hard film or something like that. I would love to read the actual Simon Says script just to see.
Yeah, it might be out there somewhere. Scriptorama.com.
I know, man. Boy, that's a flashback from the day. I remember going on there all the time. Holy crap! Oh, hey, look at this.
But let's talk villain here. Let's talk Jeremy Irons. Now, we discussed that in Die Hard 2, it was a really hard challenge to top or try to follow Alan Rickman, and I feel like Jeremy Irons, wow, like he created his own villain that's comparable to Hans. And in a way, I feel more capable and smarter than Hans Gruber.
True. True, and that's the thing is like he it's not, he's not doing an impersonation, of Alan Rickman. He's not trying to make him be Hans. He is doing a really all over the place accent because much like Alan Rickman, it's an English.
He's very British.
Guy trying not to do a British accent. And oh God, when he does that horrible Texan accent after the bomb goes off.
Oh, coming on down here to check on the Wall Street. But here's the thing. They, at least in this one, they put an element of explanation for that because he was part of a covert group of English-speaking Germans, like the Battle of the Bulge. Yeah, I saw the movie.
True. Oh man, it was just sorry that my Texan note just kind of got me off track there. But no, he's not trying to do that. He is his own character. He's his own brother, and I even like it at the end when him and John are laughing, about like what an asshole Hans was.
Oh yes, he was an asshole. He was an asshole, wasn't he? Oh, you got his number.
Like that, I felt like wow. I almost get this attitude that he really didn't even like his younger brother. Like that's the mentality that I kind of get, from him. Is like, yeah, no, he was but not like I don't care that you killed him. Not that he's still his brother and he still cared about him. But it just, he was willing to kind of joke about it. So it's like, oh yeah, I'm not just no, you killed my brother. I'm not going to laugh at that joke. Like that's that mentality, I guess. Just
there is a moment when he says your brother's an asshole. You can see it flicker across Jeremy Irons' face of like, what did you just say? But then he like blows it off. He's like, yeah, he was an asshole, wasn't he? Yeah, no, you're right. But you can see it for a moment there on Jeremy Irons' face of like, what did you just say about my brother? And he could have
easily, it's just snapped and, fired. Oh man. Oh, but see, that's not what he would have done. Okay. Now I'm just thinking I'm all over the place. Yep. But now, like when Zeus shows up in the ship's deck with the gun and the control room and he fires it, but the safety's not on. How cool was it, and how like awesome was it the way that Jeremy Irons portrayed Simon, because he's just sitting there eating an apple or whatever like that, and he just turns around and just cool, calm, and collective. He puts the apple in his mouth, grabs the gun, uncocks it, pulls the apple out. Got to take the safety off,
shoots him in the knee.
I'm like, that is so badass. I'm like, oh, I love that.
It's
so
badass.
Well done, so brilliant, and just I never get that moment never gets old because there's it's just matter of fact, like, forgot to take the safety off, and just fires it.
You forgot to take the safety switch.
I love it. It's so good.
This movie is just more fun. It's just it's a through and through an action movie, but much like the first one, it has an intelligence and a heart to it. The good guys all care. The good guys are all trying to do the right thing. The bad guys, even the bad guys aren't straight up.
Thank you for saying that. Yep.
Like in Die Hard 2, they have their reasons for doing what they're doing, and in some way they're freedom fighters more than they are terrorists.
Yeah, because like when after the water fountain scene and Zeus hands the police officer who's actually one of the undercover guys for Hans the briefcase, and he's gonna put it down and then subtitled, what are you doing? We can't leave it here. What if like a kid finds it or something like that? Or
I made that
just
note
like
too.
Oh, they're not actually bad guys. They're bad, but they actually care, and that they're not monsters. That's the word that I used.
He wouldn't blow up a school. He's not a monster.
Exactly. Like that mentality of just like, no, we're not like, that's not who they are. The guys in part 2, no, they would have blown up a school. Yeah, they would have just left that bomb on the side of the road, and that's
they blew up a church. They're clearly more villainous.
Very true. But yeah, no, this so far this episode is the complete opposite of what I feel like part 2 was.
Where we were ragging on it, and like this one we're just praising it. But it just comes down to the script was so tight. The direction was there was a vision. McTiernan came with a vision. He reined in Bruce Willis. He allowed Sam Jackson to do. do what he does best in the most charming way possible. Like everything in this movie is hitting on all cylinders. Firing on all cylinders, to screw up the metaphor.
That's about as funny as a screen door in a battleship. So
there you go.
No, and like, so I feel like maybe if we want to, if I want to point out like a flaw, and I made this note too, like the one moment in the movie where it kind of does get a little ridiculous is John surfing the dump truck in the aqueduct. Like I'm like that's the part of the film where it's like, okay, you're going a little above and beyond, but you're still it's a little superhero-y.
It was a little convenient that he would fly out where Zeus was, but he did tell Zeus to follow the highway to meet him at the end of the tunnel. It just so happened that it was timed of him passing and John flying out. Like, it was convenient timing. But hey, you have to forgive an action movie.
And that's why it's like I don't care because the rest of the movie is so good, and you know that they do have to go a little above and a little hyper real for some moments for the action.
Yeah, the note I made for the moment of like, okay, I'll buy it, was when they see the dump trucks down below the bridge, and John goes, "Does this thing have airbags?" "Well, your size does. I don't know about mine." "McClay!" And he just crashes and lands the car and keeps going. It's a great moment, but at the same time, like, oh, come on.
There's, but you know what? Like, then even after all that happens, because I really feel like, in all honesty, I feel like the riding of the dump truck in the aqueducts, like the surfing of that scene, and then getting onto the boat, that sequence, which is like maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes max of the movie, that's the most outrageous portion. That's the most outrageous part of the entire film. I had a weird Simon Gruber accent there for a second, guys. I'm sorry. I just got weird. No,
it's very interesting.
Very interesting.
Portion. That was very Irish. That's an interesting portion of the movie you have there.
You might as well have done that accent. He was close enough.
I don't know what.
But no, it's like,
I don't know what just happened.
I don't know what just happened. We went. We went Irish. It was so weird. But like that 15 minutes of the film was probably the most quote unquote ridiculous portion of it. But after that, it actually calmed back down and went back to a little bit more of a realistic tone, shy of them jumping off the boat as it exploded. Forget that. But I mean, but like everything in the boat, everything in the boat, and then even the climax, even the ending is still fairly realistic. Like, there's nothing too outrageous about that. So you have, it didn't just go, oh, he's surfing a dump truck, and now there's helicopters chasing after a boat, and
it didn't get Fast and the Furious on us.
It didn't just keep escalating, and that's what I liked about it. I'm like, I'm willing to just kind of forgive that and forgive those couple of minutes, because no, it gets back on track here. And yeah, that was a moment of just fun and silliness, and now we're back to the movie that we were watching. So
I love the fight between McClane and the heavy. I can't remember. It was the big tall blonde guy, where he grabs him by the leg and just like whips him against the side of the crate. And that's a great I'm not gonna stay down fight. Like that's a great John McClane fight. It's not the invincible John McClane,
which is what I like about it. I like, again, it's the John's a human, not a superhero bit. Like, it's like
he's just a
super guy, Oh man. But no, like it's I'm sorry.
It's clear that we both love this movie.
I love this one so much.
I think this is the worthy successor to Die Hard. It returns us to this character, much like I've been saying since the first one and the second one, of let's not make him enjoy the fact that he has to do this. Let's team him up with someone else who is unfortunately dragged into the situation. It gives everything that I feel is logical to what that first one set up. And seeing the more worn down John McClane. It was good. I really, really think this is the worthy successor to that.
I agree. This is what part 2 should have been. You know, and I feel like I could easily watch Die Hard 1, and then anybody can do this. I really feel like you could watch Die Hard 1 and then go right to Die Hard with a Vengeance, completely forget what happened in Die Hard 2, and it doesn't
just exactly like they did.
And it doesn't matter because frankly, nothing in Die Hard 2 translated into something that happened in Die Hard 3. Like you have, John, yep. Okay, so John's back in New York. Okay, maybe he did, like if you're just forgetting Die Hard 2 existed, he's back in New York. Okay, he's still not out in LA with Holly. They're still having problems. They're still fighting. All right, he's just doing his job still. There's not this weird bit where now you have to realize, like, okay, so after Die Hard 1, John moved to LA, became a cop in LA.
He was a cop there.
And then something happened after the whole DC incident in part 2 with the planes that now he then moved back to New York, got his job again, and is now working back out there. Like, in 6 years, a lot has happened to that guy. Or 7 years, I suppose.
That's a lot of transferring of precincts and departments there. McClane, more paperwork.
We just finished getting your transfer taken care of for the last time.
Now the question comes, Jeff, as we've been just praising this movie up and down. Do you want to see more? Do you want to see more?
This was hard because I was thinking about this today. I was trying to think about what my answer is because I love what they did with this. And it's tough.
Well, if I may,
you want to go first?
If I may, while you wrap your mind around it, there was something missing to the end of this movie. This movie didn't have the walk off into the sunset ending that I feel John deserves.
Because it just ends with him going back to the phone, calling Holly, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna call Holly. All right, good luck. I told you she's a very stubborn woman, and let the music cue come in. It didn't have a finality to it. It felt a little too cute of an ending, and not the ending of, and now this hero is done. It didn't. So I agree. I love the direction that this movie took, but I don't know what you would do next. So I'm a little torn. What are your feelings?
So
about
this? If we're going off of that ending where it is kind of they actually left it open for a sequel. That's the ending that I would have expected for a film franchise where they're like, nope, John McClane will be back and we're going to do more with this. And so we're not
at the end of the credits rolling, it says John McClane will return in Die Hard 4.
It's like I almost except he doesn't come out in a tux. He just comes out in his wife beater and just kind of lazily looks over and then fires his gun at him or pulls it off from his back, from bleeding, leaving a little bloody footprint.
But anyway, we derailed here.
But like, I feel like that's a really good point, and and I never made that connection while watching the film. Excuse me, that they didn't have that ending. It didn't have the walking off in the sunset. That it left it open. I love this. I love this movie so much that I would love to see a part 3 or a part 4 to this. But I feel like it would need to continue these characters. These guys would have to keep going. You can't just create new people and new scenarios and go off in a new direction. I would.
You would put Zeus and John back together again for another adventure?
I would go the route of kind of what we were discussing for previous, what our ideas for sequels would be. Put them in a situation where they're forced back into being with each other again. What that would be, I have no clue. I attempted to come up with what the sequel would be if there was going to be one, but I can't imagine what it would be. I just feel like there would be a sequel with those characters in it again. I don't know.
See, I wouldn't go back to Zeus. Maybe I would bring Sam Jackson back for a small little, maybe a scene or some sort of cameo, but I don't feel like Zeus would get mixed back up in this bullshit again. I do think John would get mixed up in bullshit again, but that's just me. I mean, I do love the two characters together. I would rather see Al come back than Zeus come back, tell you the truth.
I think if they brought Al back, they'd make it be that Al is actually like Zeus's cousin. Like, feel like they'd
That's
go that
terrible.
route, which is it's horrible. And I'm not.
That's Die Hard too bad. That's Die Hard too bad there, Jeff. Come on now. Let's be realistic here.
Hey, John, have you met my cousin Zeus? Son of a bitch.
Ah, man, see, I do feel like, yes, I would love to see. I think this movie did set up something that could offer up a very good sequel, but I'm like you. I don't know what that sequel could be that wouldn't fall
That
flat.
wouldn't.
I can't. I
That
cannot
wouldn't
think
be
of-
a Die Hard 2 all over again. Trying to come up after
yeah.
come after a really good successful entry in the franchise and just fall flat again. But at the same time, maybe this ending where he doesn't walk off into the sunset was McTiernan's way of going, look, John is just never going to have a normal life. We gave him this, quote unquote, like happy ending wrapped in a bow in the first film. They gave it kind of to him again in the second one. We're not doing that this time. We're literally just like, nope. It's never ending with him. He's just going to be on the phone again with Holly and starting all over again. And that's it. That's what our hero is. He doesn't get
the never-ending cycle.
He won't ever have a happy ending until he dies. Is probably the only way he will ever have it. Like, I feel like maybe that's what they were trying to go with then. And
Wow. Well, you know what? Maybe it's a matter of if there was a following of this character again, keep him in New York. And maybe this is a little too Beverly Hills Cop for you, but open a movie with him and Zeus hanging out and John getting a phone call of sorts that says, hey, something has happened to person X, whether it's Holly, whether it's Al out in Los Angeles, whether it's his daughter or something, but then dragging him back into the circumstances. Then you get to see Zeus one more time. And then John, like, hey, you want to help me out? And Zeus being like, ha, fuck you, John.
I ain't getting on no damn plane. I heard those suckers crash in D.C. The call back to 2, just to make sure that 2 is still canon. Just it's all part of the world.
Yes, it is.
But because I feel like I definitely feel like John and Zeus are friends now because Zeus had an opportunity to be done with the situation after the whole boat exploded, but he chose to go with John. At least in my head, he chose to go with him.
Had a good time doing it.
to go, okay, so they are friends. I'm not saying like Zeus is ever going to be a cop or like that. He's not going to be like, oh, I'll be side by side. He'll just be John's friend from now on. But that is a great idea. That's a great concept to get John back out into LA again. But keep him in this world. Don't throw him back into another building. Don't rehash part 1 again. What I love the most about this, as we said earlier in the film or earlier in the podcast, was like I liked seeing John in his natural element. I liked seeing him at the police station, surrounded by other fellow officers and and his boss, and like dealing with that stuff. That's the stuff I like to see. While I love part 1 and I like seeing him out of his element, I also really enjoyed seeing him surrounded by his peers. Like, that's fun to me.
Yeah.
So
he's not in the wrong place. He's in his place. You're right. And that did work to the formula while giving a new take on it. Yeah, absolutely. I love seeing
which you could still get that effect if we go your route and we have him go back out to LA, because if he was a cop out in LA, he would have an equivalency to those people out in LA. And if it is Al that gets hurt or kidnapped or killed or something along those lines, well, then he would be out there with a similar group of fellow peers and police officers trying to figure out what's going on out there.
And maybe even fellow officers who don't like him. He was there for a short time and left, trying to like weasel his way back in. He'd be like, no, get the hell out of here. This isn't your district anymore. I'm here because of my friend. Just tell me what I need to know. I don't know. I mean, we might be breaking too far away from the formula, but that seems like a 4th movie I could get behind.
Yep.
But I don't know if that's for 2 and for 3. I've had pretty firm ideas of like, you should do this, and with this one, I'm kind of like, I don't know. It does feel like you could have one, but I don't know what it should be. That doesn't really help us much. But that's
and
just
you know what?
I
guess this portion of the podcast, we answer the real question of okay? So really, let's just to recap, because we did kind of go all over the place. Do you think would you be content if this was the last Die Hard film?
Yes, I would have that lingering feeling of it'd be nice to have more, but if this was it, I would be okay with it.
And I'm right there with you on that too, because like if it was a trilogy and I watched Die Hard 1, which I loved, and then I watched Die Hard 2 and I'm like, okay, that was fun. You know, it wasn't as good as Die Hard 1, and then I saw Die Hard 3 and went, yes, that's Die Hard 1. Thank you. You made up for it. You made up for the last one. Great. I'm okay now. Like, it's that mentality of, if you fail or if you come short on certain stuff, but as long as the next time around you got back to what made the first time good, I'm okay with it. You don't need to keep going because you proved that, yes, you could still make a good sequel. You could do that well. Don't keep going. So yeah, I'm in that same boat of if this was the last one, yep, I'm okay with that. I don't need to see another Die Hard film. I'm happy with the story that I got, and I'll just, he'll play out in my head forever as to as to what happened after that.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know what to do with where would you go with another Die Hard film? What the sequel would be? What we came up with would be a good one. I'd probably watch that, but yeah, I would need a lot of work in order to try to figure out how to keep it on formula.
How do you keep it in? Yeah. How do you keep it in the formula? That's a question. I think that's probably a conversation we'll have off mic later of like, wait, well, what would we do to develop that story? But I think that's a good planting of the seed of what the Die Hard 4 could be.
And you know what?
But sadly we know.
Sadly, that is not where it goes, folks. Unfortunately, it's not at all, and I am. It's with a troubled heart that I have to say that 12 years later, the studios decided we need to make another film. We need to make another Die Hard.
Don't. You're putting the cart before
That's
the
true,
horse.
because you know what?
Jeff, we cannot discuss.
I haven't watched it.
4 does not
That's true,
exist
and I have
yet.
also not watched it in a very long time. And we'll have to discuss off air which versions we're watching too, just to throw that out there.
Oh my God, you're right. There's 3 versions to choose from. Well,
But
anyway, let's wrap up this episode before we start discussing the next episode.
So, was there anything else that we missed, or you didn't get a chance to mention? Anything that you liked? Anything that you hated about Die Hard with a Vengeance? I feel like we did talk a lot. Just good. Just how much we loved Die Hard with a Vengeance. I know I really, really enjoyed it. I love it. I love it just as much as I love Die Hard. Like they are, but not as much. I guess I'll take that back because I will watch Die Hard every year. Die Hard with a Vengeance will be like every so often, so it's a little bit lower. But was there anything else?
I think what I could say is that John McTiernan is one of the greatest action directors of all time. He may not have followed that through in the later into his career, like the twilight years of his career. Much like someone like Ridley Scott, where it's like, "Ooh, you peaked. You are on the downward spiral here, folks." But Die Hard, Predator, Hunt for Red October, this movie, Speed, like this guy is one of the best action directors, and there's such a craftsmanship to how he makes these movies that I actually don't think that isn't necessarily something that people can capture now because we're so used to the explosive blockbuster gigantic action movies that I think the very modern sensibility of action movies these movies might be lost on that more popcorn flick immature attitude, I guess. But someone who loves cinema, someone who respects what cinema can do, I think John McTiernan's direction, particularly in this movie, shows just how capable he is as a director. So I just wanted to praise him for his work,
which is good. That's what we need. We definitely need to talk about that, and that's the key thing that we realize that it was his work that made this entry in the franchise so good. It was his involvement as well as a really good tight script. As we said before,
script. Yes, do not let me give John McTiernan all the credit. This script is tight. The performances are tight.
I did find a 1994 version of Simon Says Die Hard 3. as what it's called.
Oh, all right.
I will find this. I will get you a link. And I'm just reading like the first just tiny little bit here at the beginning, and it does have McClane. Like, so it's already been adapted to be a Die Hard film. But it's
okay.
There's an opening scene where it looks like John's at a bar. So already it's different. So that's interesting. I'm interested to reading that just to see how different that is. So I'll also post that, I guess, for those of you guys at home listening to this, if you wish to read that, I'll post that on the website, on the GoStat website. So you can take a gander at that and read. So just so you can see what it looks like, and maybe we'll discuss that in the final recap episode for the franchise. So if we had gotten a chance to read it. But all right, well, we've said everything that I could think of when it comes to this film. Just, I guess the one last thing I did like, this was the one thing I made a comment about this in my note. So the first two films, and then we'll wrap it up. We just the last minute here. I liked that the first two films obviously took place during the Christmas season or right before Christmas. This one, obviously not. This is like middle of the summer in New York, so it's all hot and sticky.
Hot time, summer,
as evident by the opening song. And but I like that there is still a nod to Christmas in it. Because it's when John is in the aqueduct and he's walking up to the garbage truck and he's got the construction helmet on and he's like, "Excuse me, fellas," and the bad guys are in the seats. He's like, "Have you guys seen this? There's been reports of a man with like 8 reindeer," and he fires and he kills them both. And he's like big suit, like big belly, red suit. Surprised they haven't seen him. Like
jolly. Surprised you didn't see him.
I'm like, okay, so.
I didn't think of that.
There's
That's
still
hilarious.
A subtle little reference to Christmas in the movie, and it's just a gag. Like yeah, that's it.
That's great.
And I feel like that's for nobody except for the 3 people, myself included, that would have been like, "There's nothing about Christmas in this one." Oh, there is Christmas in this one. Okay, I'm fine now. Yay. But yeah, that was it. That's all I had for this particular episode. So I'm very excited. So we'll wrap things up here. TC, do you have anything you wish to plug or talk about? Feel free to do so right now, sir. Anything cool?
All right. If you'd like to listen to me talk at length about movies, you can check out my own podcast, The Rewatchman, which is available on iTunes. It comes out every couple of weeks. Things slow down every now and then when my co-host gets busy with his career, or I get busy. But also check out firmamentfilms.com. Firmamentfilms.com is where you can find a lot of the short films that I've written, directed, acted in, along with many of my fellows, including Jeff.
That's me.
And thank you guys for listening. I love doing these. So any excuse to talk about movies.
That's fun. It's awesome, and I enjoy talking with you about movies as well, which is why you were my first co-host for this franchise series. So, yay! And obviously, it won't be the last. Remember, Look Who's Talking. That's coming down the line. I'm making you be my co-host for that one.
Oh yeah, that's way down. Oh boy.
It's gonna be awesome. So, and then obviously for me, guys, if you wish to follow me, I am still doing live tweeting. I finished the Halloween franchise about a week or two ago, and I'm kind of sad because I don't have anything of the live tweets, so I'll have to figure out something else to live tweet. But you can follow me on Twitter at randombell, and also if you haven't yet, be sure to go and check out the Facebook page for this podcast, because we do have a Facebook page now. Just so that way, oops, I hit my microphone.
Yeah.
So that way you just keep up to date with us. We want to, feel free to leave comments and talk on the posts. I like reading stuff, and I always respond, and it's a lot of fun. I like that community environment. But that is at facebook.com/franschman, which I want to make a t-shirt now that says that. Good. And also, if you guys have any ideas for future movies, future franchises that we can definitely do down the line, we do have a couple of them lined up, but always are open to taking the suggestions. Be sure you can go ahead and tweet me at randombell on Twitter and just use the hashtag Frenchman. That way I know that's what you're talking about. Or if you just want to say, hey, this show's great, that'd be awesome. And also make sure you can leave a review on iTunes, because, people actually do care. Just don't leave a 1-star review, because
a few stars. A few stars
I'll
would
take
be nice.
3. That's cool. I'll take more, please, if you're being generous. But just more than 3 would be great. And
I'll take 1. You can have 3. Total that up.
4. I'm okay with that. I feel
Math.
TC. I think we both need 3, so we could have 6. Can we have 6 on iTunes? Is that a thing?
Make it so.
Steve Jobs' ghost. So with that, everybody, that is it for today's episode of Franchise Schmanchise. TC and I will be back next time. Because I think there's a sequel to this movie 12 years later.
Is it Live Free, or
Die Hard.
Die
Oh my
Hard?
God, what a horrible name. All right, everybody, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for listening. Bye, TC.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Happy trails.
This has been a production of Ghost Hat Media, proud member of the Ghost Hat Network. Find them online at www.ghosthat.net.
I like the ending.